there guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Christine Kugler and I'm currently a professional dancer on board Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas. And today I'm going to do a little bit of a different video than I've ever done before, but it's a little series that I want to start doing. Today we're going to have a little segment called Meet the Crew. As many of you guys know, I talk a lot about the entertainment department and dancing because obviously that is what I've revolved my life around. But this contract, I've been able to meet some amazing people who work in so many different departments. Since becoming friends with them, I've learned so much of the other operations that happen on board. Therefore, I want you guys to meet them. I gave them a few questions to answer for you to get to know what they do on board and what their life is like. I always talk about how there are so many jobs and so many lives that happen on board. We have over 2,000 crew on this ship. So I hope you learn a little something new from my friends in the activities and the broadcast department. Let's go get to know them.
Actually, we can go watch legs tomorrow night.
Yeah,
tonight.
Tomorrow night is legs, level up legs.
Oh, okay, and tonight?
Beautiful dream.
Yeah, tomorrow night let's watch it and then we get good seats. This is all a part of our daily lives.
Give me a little intro. What's your name? Where are you from?
Alright, sweet. So I'm Raymond. I'm all the way from sunny South Africa. I'm the activities manager on board, so basically I'm in charge of planning all the game shows, the trivias, the karaoke's, all of the fun events happening throughout the cruise, all the admin behind that, and basically just planning around that. And then my team are out on the floor running all of those events. I joined 2021, so it's about 3 years now that I've worked well, and this is my 4th contract.
How'd you get this job?
By talking a lot of nonsense, basically. No, I'm joking. So one of my friends was working on the ships as a watch sales specialist, and then he asked me to apply for the job to join him. Applied for the job, got rejected. They said I don't have what it takes to be a sales specialist. And then she said, but there is another job that she thinks I'll do really good in, and that is crew staff, now known as the entertainment activity staff, the guys who run the trivias, karaoke's, all of that stuff. So yeah, I then applied for that, and then about 2 months later I was on my first ship, Navigator over the seas.
Wow, yeah. Rejection is redirection. What does a typical day in your life involve?
So we wake up at about 8 AM.
Oh, don't lie.
Okay, so a typical day, it depends on the day, so whether it's a sea day or a port day. If it's a port day, sometimes we obviously have early gangways. We are expected to be on the gangway just to supervise, just to make sure everything's running smoothly, and just to redirect traffic. So if you see, okay, this area is a bit too busy, then we go to the other area. So on a sea day, basically we start early morning, then we get to the office, start planning the day out. So usually the first thing I do is get the team's schedules ready for the next day. So I'll check all the emails because there's a lot of changes that happen throughout the cruise. Everything is constantly changing and moving. We have about 4 or 5 venues that we run, and we run it with multiple people. So we run it with like the marketing and revenue teams, we run it with lecturers, with groups, with all of these things, with shows. Then after that I'll check if there's any updates for future cruises and just double check that the compass, so that is what we use for our activities, that is prepped for the next day, and then any extra work that I can do basically, so to work ahead of time. So we usually try and have about 2 or 3 cruises in hand, so the next 2 or 3 cruises are already planned out, what activities are happening, what time, what venue, how long the activities are, so we plan ahead of time most of the times, and then the daily little changes that happen.
What's the hardest part about your job?
Hardest part would be managing the team, because we work on ships, so we have so many different nationalities and cultures and beliefs and ways of doing things. So many people are raised very differently to how I was raised. The most difficult thing is keeping the program good, keeping the program at a good level, while still maintaining a happy life for your team, so that your team still gets enough rest, they still have enough time to recover, to get off the ship, because you need to keep all of them happy, but at the same time you need to keep the guests happy as well, because they're paying for this experience and this awesome experience, so we need to make sure that they're getting a good product. And yeah, and everyone's got their own strengths and weaknesses, so some team members might be really good at dancing and doing theme night parties, some people might be really good at arts and crafts. You need to schedule around that as well.
What's your favorite thing about ship life?
The people. There's so many different people from so many different countries. You make friends that you'll see them 3 years later and you guys will just click on where you guys left off. There's so many different ways of viewing things. It really opens up your perspective to how you view life, because all of these different cultures, nationalities, everyone just views life completely differently. When you have one viewpoint of it, someone else has a different one, so your perspective completely changes about everything and you just view life completely differently. Gratitude as well becomes a very big thing on ships because you realize how much your family actually means to you. As soon as you've gone for a few months from them, you start to realize how much your family actually means. And then when you have that time with them, it's a lot more special. You start valuing earthly things less and more spiritual things.
Great answer. I talk about that a lot on my channel, of like meeting different people and then getting different perspectives. What's something you can't live without on board?
You can name more than one.
Yeah.
Yeah, coffee, cigarettes, and Coca-Cola. Those are the 3 things. Oh, more. Sorry, Mom. And obviously the people as well, they really talk about.
Oh yeah, people.
Gym as well, big time. Get all of that stress out. So gym is very important. Friends, definitely. Having people that you can chat with and vent with and just like connect with and just talk about life and what your frustrations are, because you're away from your family for so long. Ship life is very weird compared to land life, and even the guests as well. I could not do ship life without the guests. It would be so boring.
That's like 10 different things.
Yeah, you said name things.
What's your favorite port you've ever visited?
That's a difficult one. Probably the most memorable experience I have was, I think it was Saint Antigua. I went snorkeling with stingrays, so that was really cool. The most like beautiful place that I've been was definitely Greece. Like just all the ports in Greece are just insane. Like Santorini, Mykonos, Rhodes. We jumped off of like bridges into water and stuff, so that was good memories as well. Overall favorite, Spain, definitely. Spain, yeah. We had
where in Spain?
We were in Cadiz for a month and a half doing dry dock, and then I've been to Malaga as well, and like a few other places. Beautiful. Yeah, but just Spain overall. It's so pretty. The architecture is amazing. The food's really cheap. The food's really good.
Go Spain. What's the difference between being a crew staff and being an activities manager?
You plan your own day as activities manager. You choose when you want to work all of this. But obviously if work doesn't get done, then that's on you. So you have to be like super responsible, super disciplined to get all these things done, which is amazing because you can choose when you input your time and when you're at your peak hours. Obviously there's a million things happening throughout the day where you get calls and all of this stuff from, but you still plan your own schedule more or less. Where as crew staff, you get a schedule and you get told, okay, this is what activities you're doing today, what time you're working. As a crew staff though, there is a lot less stress. As an activities manager, anything that goes wrong, regardless if it was your fault or someone else's fault, you have to stand for it and you need to try and justify it. So you're constantly problem solving, you're constantly dealing with complaints, fixing complaints and stuff like that. So there's a lot more pressure and responsibility on you than as a crew staff. Perks that you get as a manager, for example, once you have 2.5 shops, you get your own cabin. So you don't need to share a cabin, you get a double bed, you get a porthole, which is really cool. The funny thing is though, even though you have these perks, you barely see them or use them because you're usually just out and running and it's just a place to sleep. A big perk as well, you get to wear your own clothes. So as long as it's smart casual, obviously there's still rules and stuff as to what you have to wear. As a manager, a big thing as well is you get to meet a lot of people that are higher up in the company as well. As crew staff, you still do, you meet a lot of people, but you don't interact with them as much as you would as a manager, because a manager, you do planning meetings with them, prepare for the next cruises. So you get to experience and learn from all of these people's experience so much more about yourself. And you get to learn so much from them who've been in the company for 20, 30 years. And whenever you're having struggles with your own team or your own life or whatever, you get to talk with them and they give you their knowledge and you can use that on your next ships. I thought you were going to have better questions, more juicy stuff.
Well, I can't do that on the channel.
You can.
Okay, give me a question.
I'm
I can tell all interview.
No, but it's like
what was your worst day on board and what was the best one?
Oh, that's a good
What
one.
happened?
They want to share some juicy questions, so here we go. We'll ask some more. Okay, what's the worst day you've ever had on board?
Yeah, alright, worst day ever, I would have to say it was last year on Anthem of the Seas. I had some food out in port that was not really good. Came back to the ship totally fine. The next morning just woke up and yeah, just chandering.
I don't even know what that means. Chander.
What happened?
Chunder. You throw up. Then went back at about 11 a.m. again and they put me on a drip. We're docked in Nassau, so I got sent off the ship to a hospital in Nassau, which Nassau is beautiful, but the hospitals are not really the nicest day. The staff are amazing. I think all aboard time was like 5 o'clock or something, and like at 4:45 I was still at the hospital.
So what'd you do?
The hospital guys took me back in a taxi. Got to the ship, I think probably like 10 minutes after we were meant to leave. Like if I was 5 minutes later, they would have left. Got onto the ship, got to my cabin, and all my luggage was already packed because they thought that I was going to stay overnight. And then, yeah, that was probably the worst day.
Sounds like a pretty bad day.
It was amazing to see how much people cared. The captain called me and he's like, listen, we wanted to leave, but I was like, no, we're not leaving without you. So the Captain Stretchko, shout out to Captain Stretchko, thank you for not leaving me. Because yeah, it's scary to be in a different country that you have no idea, like in Nassau, just to stay overnight in a hospital.
What's the best day you've ever had?
Best day, career-wise, definitely on Anthem when I got stepped up to activities manager. So I'd already finished about 4 or 5 months of my contract. And then I got called into the office. I thought it was something bad, and then the manager at the time said, you're being stepped up as activities manager, so you're covering for 2 months on Anthem. So career-wise, definitely the best day. Outside of career-wise, there's been a few good days. Little moments like Skagway the other day, that's definitely in the top 3. Where we just went out, yeah, come on. This Alaskan run's been really fun, just hanging out with friends and stuff like that. During dry dock, when we were in Cadiz, just all of the nights there, us and our friends, we'd find this little Irish bar there and we'd just go there, play pool. So those are pretty cool memories.
Jamaica?
Jamaica, yeah, with the, what do you call it? Oh, with the bamboo log, yeah. So with the bamboo log rafting.
I was never able to do it. If you watch my Jamaica video, I explain.
Like swimming with the stingrays, I swam with the dolphins, all of these fun excursions like those are probably my best days, like all combined into one.
Yeah. What's your favorite contract you've ever done? Favorite ship?
Every contract has had its pros and its cons. Explorer, Anthem, and Ovation are my top 3. I know it's 3, but I can't choose because like Explorer was like the ports were amazing. Like we were in Greece, we were in Italy, we were in Spain, like we were all over the world. The team was really amazing. Like we all clicked and we all just enjoyed life together. Anthem was where I got stepped up, and my team supported me so much. I got so much love from them. And then Ovation, the people outside of my regular, not this one. Everyone has the sort of their own little cliques that they hang out with, and on the previous ships I was always with sports staff, my team, the crew staff, where on this contract I've been hanging out with a lot more people in other divisions such as the dancers, which have been really nice and not full of themselves, which is really cool. Because usually they are. She's one of the exceptions.
Who's your favorite person that you've met on Ovation of the Seas?
Oh, I can't just choose one person.
Of course you can't. Who changed your whole life?
I said Claudio.
No, I'm not gonna bring him anywhere in life.
But like the most influential person that I've had, definitely most influential person was the hotel director, Keith. Very strict, very knowledgeable about everything that he does. He has a wide spectrum of like knowledge on everything, so whether it's in entertainment or guest services or food or everything, whenever I had questions or doubts or anything, I could go to him and just get answers from him.
What is your craziest ship story that you've either lived or heard of or anything?
Okay, on my first contract on a Navigator, we were in the Star Lounge. We were busy hosting a game show. It's called Perfect Couple. So Perfect Couple, it's an adult game show, and one of the challenges is we hold up like a curtain, and then the couple needs to swap clothing. So the husband and wife need to swap clothing. As they were busy changing, all the gentleman runs over and gets like behind me, and I'm like holding up this curtain, and he's like, protect me, and I'm like, what the heck's going on here? And all of a sudden this other young guy comes and he grabs tennis balls and he starts throwing it at this old guy. Put the guy behind me. I call like 911. The people are still naked behind the curtain. I'm trying to protect this old guy. This young guy's trying to hit him. I'm like stopping him, pushing him away, everything. And then I found out what the whole story behind it was. So the young guy was busy vaping, and you're not allowed to vape obviously inside lounges and stuff like that. And the old guy got really upset and he threw him with his red wine. And then the young guy lost it and started chasing him. There's been a few offers as well, like to go back and home and live with people as well. That's happened before from like older ladies.
What's the funniest question you've ever been asked by a guest?
Because I'm from South Africa, everyone, at least once a month, I will get someone that comes to me and they go, but if you're from Africa, why are you white? I always thought, oh haha, they're quoting the movie, this is so funny. But then they're serious. To everyone watching this, there's multiple different nationalities and cultures in South Africa. That's why we call the Rainbow Nation. Another one is they ask if the elevators can go from the front of the ship to the back of the ship. And that
No
one I
way.
get asked quite a lot as well. So sometimes people don't know how to get to different floors on the ship. So that's pretty funny.
I've heard that a lot.
Yeah, but I think it's just their brain is like on vacation mode.
Do you want to hear my craziest guest story?
Yeah.
So we were in Greece, getting on the tender to Santorini, and she said, "But I'm Greek, I shouldn't have to take the tender. Like shouldn't have to wait in the tender line because I'm from here." And I was like, "Oh, do you want to swim?" I don't know.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a little 5-minute little clip. I might just have to make an activities manager video.
When is going to be the next time he's going to have a chance to be in a famous channel?
Yeah, exactly. Security. Hello?
What do you miss the most about back home?
Yes.
South Africa.
The food. Like the people obviously as well. Like everyone back home. Love you guys.
You're like my family.
Yeah, no, of course, family. But like South Africa specifically is the food, man. Like we have something, we call it a braai. It's very similar to a barbecue, something, but we use like wood or charcoal, make a fire, and then we put on steak. And we have something called boerewors, which is like sausage that we make. Boerewors. We have biltong, which is, oh my word, biltong is amazing. So it's like beef jerky, just like 5 million times better.
You know, he told me he sees like zebras and stuff, zebras and lions and tigers.
Yeah, there's no lions just walking around there. I've been bitten by a baby lion cub before. Yeah.
Bitten?
But like it's like a baby cub, so it's not that bad. I've been licked by a giraffe before, which is like, you would think it's like a smooth tongue, but it's really not. It's like a cat's tongue.
What are you most grateful for on working on ships? What's the best thing you've learned?
Motto for on ships: this too shall pass. If you're having a great time, everything's going perfect in the day, the guests are loving you, your team's great, something's gonna hit the fan and like your whole day is gonna be spun around and you're just gonna be rattled and everything's just all over the place. And in the same sense with a negative time where everything is going wrong in the day, shows are getting cancelled, people are late, guests are upset, this too shall pass and you'll have those good days again. So that's definitely the quote I live by on ships. The most grateful for on ships is the amount I've grown in different ways. So I've grown, like mentally grown, just due to speaking to people who have so much experience. You grow mentally and the way you think is more maturely. Spiritually, grown a lot closer to God as well. You sort of realize how reliant you are on Him, and that like in all this chaos, He's the only thing that is the peace.
Yeah.
Focus on that, and like that gets you through all of this. So I always start my day with a prayer, finish my day with a prayer. No matter how much chaos is going on, that keeps me going. Time management wise, like you learn just to make time for things that matter. So like gym, you're like, okay, cool, I've got 40 minutes for gym, I'm gonna put it in here. And you learn that if you don't do it now, you're not gonna do it.
This life is so unique that like you grow so much in such a short amount of time. Like these contracts are only a few months, and like how much you change from the beginning, sign on to sign off, is like so much.
That's the biggest thing with friends. 8 months later, for example, like as managers, we have 4-month contracts. You leave your friends back home and you come back home and you and your friends don't click anymore. You guys aren't on the same level anymore. You don't think the same anymore.
Yeah. And you've developed such deeper relationships with other people too. All right, well, thank you so much, Ray, for this interview. Hope you guys learned something about what it's like to be an activities manager. Woo!
Great.
You ready? And scene. Hey guys, I'm here with my friend Pia. We're gonna interview him and get to know what does he do on this ship.
Hi guys, my name is Pete. Well, it's actually Peter, but everyone calls me Pete. I'm the head broadcast technician on board Ovation of the Seas, and I am from Ipswich, which is a town in England, southeast of England.
Southeast of England.
On September 30th, that'll be my 5th year with Royal Caribbean. This is my 6th ship, this is my 5th contract. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're about to get a keychain.
I'm gonna get something, apparently.
What is your job on board?
Working in the broadcast team, I do what she does, but on a, no offense to her, on a larger scale. So on board we have shows that always need recording. I record her shows, we record all the entertainment on board. Everything recorded on board, audio, video stuff, we take care of. Usually I'd have a team of me and 2 technicians who do the recording, and I'll oversee and monitor and schedule them to do everything. I've only been the head for a few months now. it happened, this contract out of nowhere, but I'm enjoying it. So it's been a big learning process. So before, I'd be the one doing all the filming, editing, producing, switching, which I still do now. Usually I'll oversee everything. I'll do the admin side of it. I'll still help out the big projects, you know, when we need multiple of us.
What's the hardest part about your job?
I'd say it probably is like the maintenance when stuff does go wrong. Bit of backstory, I do this job, I've done it long enough now where like I've learned as time goes on. But before I started doing this, I wasn't a technician by any stretch. If you show that you're capable of like learning enough, they're like, oh, you can pick up as you go along. So, but there's still times where something goes wrong and my first instinct is like, all right, how the heck do I fix that? Then and then it's not just learning how to fix it, you learn the resources of how to find out, the right people to ask, where to look. But I don't mind if I need to reschedule stuff or like impromptu shoots come out of nowhere. But if stuff starts to like go faulty and break, I'm like, ugh.
Technology.
Yeah, exactly, technology, that's it. That's the most frustrating part.
Okay, what's your favorite thing about ship life?
100% the people. Yeah, it's definitely the people, yeah. This lifestyle, it's in its own ways, so many blessings that come from it. It is brilliant. Like, before I did this, I didn't even know it existed. It can be tough at times, of course. Sometimes people keep asking why do I keep doing it, and I'm like, it's definitely I've made friends from places that I never thought I'd meet people from places I haven't even been yet.
Places you didn't know existed.
But that as well, you know. Coco K, who'd have thought it? Wow, yeah. Where are you from? I'm from Coco K. That's it. Have you been to Coco K yet?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you had.
Do you know how many thousands of guests go to Coco K?
Oh, I've counted.
I've seen.
I've witnessed. This is my first ship that doesn't go Coco K.
Really?
Out of 6.
And you know what's crazy? There's people like LJ who's worked for the company 5 years, has never been to Coco K.
That's what I mean. Like, we are polar opposites.
Like Eve has never been to Coco K.
They don't know. They just don't know. It's so easy. You get off. You just find a place to lay down. Free food. Get a tan. You go swimming. What was the question again? What was your favorite ship?
What's your favorite thing about ship life?
People. Making friends, making connections, relationships from all around the world, definitely, yeah.
Okay, what does a typical day... I'm gonna have to do it again. At the top!
I can stay in, I'm shameless, I don't care.
What does a typical day in your life involve?
Start of the week, of course, is a whole new week, so we do our turnaround phase, where we archive all the content from the last week, store it away so that then doesn't replay on the channel. So for example, when we record 70s, guests won't be able to watch and be like, that ain't me, because then it's just showing guests from last week. So we record these shows every week, so we archive all that stuff so it won't repeat again. We change the channel lineup, short excursions. If the ports are different that week, we have to take out, for example, we didn't do Sitka this week. So Sitka didn't feature on the channel. We made sure that was gone. Making sure this next week is all correct and everything is fresh and ready to go. I'll be in and out the office checking emails, answering calls, helping out with any issues around the ship if something's not working, if they need help setting up with an event. That's typical day to day, like that happens every day. If you were to ask me, where's your main base on board? I'll say, well, there is my office, but most of it happens in there, but the product is everywhere. You go around the whole ship, you can go from deck 15 to deck 2, there's something broadcast that's there. There'll be a screen, there'll be a TV, there'll be digital signage, cameras in every venue, there'll be projectors in every venue, there'll be screens in every venue. And when it's not just general stuff, when it's the normal day-to-day every week, it's recording the shows. My team every day record with our cruise director Mike and our activities manager. They do their Entertainment Today show every day, talk about what's going on board the ship.
Yeah, that's a lot. Do you ever just sit and watch the TV in your cabin?
Oh, I have to. Yeah. Every time I go to my cabin or I go to the office, first thing I do is I go through the channels, because sometimes technology is not perfect. Sometimes the signal goes rough, especially on this itinerary. Oh my, there's so many mountains around here, it actually drives me insane. Who put them there? Like, there's so many of them.
What's something you can't live without on board?
Rice. I mean, I joke about it, actually. I've been trying to cut down on rice lately and I've been getting so cranky, it's crazy. Yeah.
I never would ever expect you to say that.
I love rice.
So therefore you love the mess, because there's always rice in the mess. If you are content with rice, then you are content with everything you eat on board.
Yeah.
There will always be rice.
There'll always be rice, and I love that. That's what's consistent with it.
Peter's accent is fake. It's just the most stereotypical British accent.
It's like they thought, throw all the tea and all the royal family in a bucket.
All the crumpets.
All the corgis, throw them in.
And this is what you get.
Yeah, that's what you get apparently.
What is your favorite port you've ever visited?
Shout out to the following places on the planet. I've been a couple times to Puerto Rico, San Juan, that was amazing. When I did my Caribbean stint, we 2 or 3 times went to Labadee, which is in Haiti. It's a location of the country that Royal owns, so it's just them that dock there. Such blue water, it looks amazing. To get to the crew part of it, you have to get on this little boat that takes you across. It's it's just what I'd want to do if I went exploring.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I went to Labadee once a week for about 5 months. I never once went to the Caribbean beach.
I haven't seen the guest area. Maybe
You've never been to like the guest beaches?
No, each time I went to the crew bit, probably some of the best memories I've had in my time. She's gonna rib me for this. I was on Icon and
Were you?
I was on Icon.
Were you on Icon?
Yeah, I was. No one knows that about me. I don't talk about it enough. I was part of the takeout team for Icon. I joined there in November last year. I got transferred there. It was still being built in Finland, in Turku. To me, I was just, again, excited. Like, I want to be working on a ship that isn't in the Caribbean. It's so different. You go out, you get on this little shuttle that takes you to downtown Turku. There was these cool little bars, these little restaurants I'd go to with friends of mine. Before we left Finland, I'd be going around the ship doing checks of things like here and there and everywhere. Basically how it works, they build a ship, there's a line of them. They build one here, and behind that there's another one. Behind that there's another one. When one's finished, it sails out and then they bring the next one forward. So behind us was a different, don't know whose it was, but behind that was Star. But I didn't know, but then I realised, wait, they barely built like the keel and the bow and everything at the bottom was done, but then they started building up from there.
That's really cool.
And I didn't realise that, because it just, to me, it's just a big old block.
How was it doing takeout for Icon? What was your favorite thing about it?
It was such an incredible experience. I can't talk highly enough of it, but I was so ready to go home when it was, I was so tired.
That's a lot of work.
It was a lot of work. They PR'd the heck out of this thing, as they should do. Like, have you seen it? It's crazy.
If you've seen any video of Icon, Pete recorded it.
I've recorded a lot of it, not all of it. I was there because our head media specialist, who was there, I worked with in the past, we worked well together, so that's why he requested me to be there with a bunch of others who I met. Oh my god, that team on board there, so good. They some of the best editors I've ever met. I learned so much from them, honestly. Everything was so huge. When it's the first of its kind, it's like, okay, everything's being monitored umpteenth times. So many good memories from there. I was ready to go, but at the time I was still gutted.
Did you hear the saxophone?
Yeah, that's not me.
Boggy.
Yeah. Oh, that is him as well. Oh, well,
Yeah.
Of course it's Boggy.
He doesn't ever respect my time. No, can I tell you, this man,
Go on, let it out.
this man
Let it out.
yelled at me because I was playing music on a hike because I enjoy listening to music. And he was like, all the squirrels and the bears are gonna go away because you're listening to your music. And then here he is, interrupting my video with his saxophone.
Not the squirrels.
And then we saw a squirrel and he goes, see, it's because you turned off your music.
Yeah.
Alright, now we're going into the juicy questions.
Oh no.
So these were some of Claudio and Ray's questions that I'm gonna pass on over to Pete.
The fact it was those two, I'm already worried. Like that, yeah, that says it all. Okay.
What was your best and then what was your worst day you've ever had on board?
On my last contract, before I got transferred, I was on Wonder. My parents sailed with me for 2 weeks. That was amazing. That felt so wholesome because neither of them ever got to go to America before. They started getting into cruising like like around a year before I got the job. After I finished university, like I did my 3 years, my bachelor's, and then I did a master's. During that time, I was job hunting. I was looking everywhere, was getting nothing. I spoke to the right person I used to work with at uni, who was my producer, and she said, oh, I think you could do what I do. She was a broadcast tech for Royal, and she gave me an email. I sent an email out. 2 hours later, I said, oh, let's talk on Skype. And I was like, what? And then spoke on Skype, and then they said, oh, we'll talk to you again soon for another interview, but you can pretty much consider yourself to be part of our talent pool. So telling them that, getting promoted recently, that was a pretty great day as well. That was a cool day. That was an amalgamation of a lot of things. Worst day? I've had a few. When we actually had to officially shut down and I had to be at home, that wasn't great. I broke my arm on a past contract and I had to sign off early. I won't go into detail of that, no one wants to know why.
Those are pretty bad.
They're pretty bad, yeah, they're not ideal, yeah.
Yeah, what do you miss most about being home?
More freedom to do what you want day by day. Like, of course, we work every day, which I won't complain about. It's a blessing to be here. Dogs, I miss my dogs. The pub, I miss the pub. But when I'm home, I miss here. When I'm here, I miss home. You can't.
Always.
I can't escape that.
Who is your favorite person you've ever met on Ovation of the Seas?
Oh, that's such a stitch up. That
You're really thinking about this.
I don't. Yeah, I'm thinking how not to answer it.
Well, yeah, no, you don't have to say me. Because I know you don't want to say me because I'm sitting right here.
Special shout out.
Yeah, a special shout out to someone that you've met on Ovation.
I've met so many great people though.
You know what my favorite thing is?
What?
That, and I've told you this, is that I thought Pete was just a random man who was hanging out with us in Hawaii.
She did.
Yeah, first time I really saw him was when we were in Hawaii and we were all hanging out in a group and he was friends with the girls. So I just figured that the girls met this man in Hawaii. And then I saw him on the ship and I was like, oh, this guy's here.
He just got hired.
Then it was months later and I was like, I never met Pete. Pete just kind of
appeared. Yeah. Again, what was the question?
Who's your favorite person? Alright, well thank you so much for coming, Pete.
Thank you.
I hope you guys learned something about what it's like to be a head broadcast technician on board. I'll see you later. Alright guys, so that is all for the video today. Again, like I said, I want to make this a little series, so I have a few friends that I also want to interview, and let me know what you guys want to see. If you want to ask any other departments any other questions, try to leave them in the comments down below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Click that bell so you're notified every time I make a post. Make sure you follow my Instagram so you stay tuned on where I am in the world and wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having the very best day. See you in the next video.